We don't have any viewers yet. Hi, Aya. Can you hear me? I think this is... Hi, Patricia. Thanks for tuning in. Aya? I'm waiting on my guest. Hopefully, I sent an invite and everything. So hopefully she gets on. Bring them on camera. But good afternoon, everybody. It's early still. I decided to come on early. Hope everyone is hearing me. I was always having some technical difficulties, so I hope you all are hearing me. Aya, I am sure you're watching, but I don't know. I sent you an invite. Hopefully it goes well. Happy Easter Sunday, everybody. Are you all hearing me? Let me know. I think after today, I'm going to take a crash course in doing lives or something. Are you all hearing me? Let me know, please. So my name is Hazelan Lynch. Well, let me introduce myself. Sorry. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chatterbox Chronicles Live at 5, the place where creatives, indie authors, and small business leaders share the real, raw, and beautiful stories behind their journeys. I'm your host, Hazel Ann Lynch, author of Senior Fluffy A Cat's Tale. This lovely book right here. Every week we go live with someone brave enough to chase what matters. Let's get into it and introduce Aya Taliba. Okay, let me get her last name. I want to say it properly. Ayodokie. Yes, I think that's it. Can you hear me, Aya? Yes, I'm not even seeing her, and I invited her. Oh, Lord. I'm adding you again, Aya. Let me see what will happen now.
Hello?
Oh, live. Finally, thank you, Jesus. I can hear you.
Right. I was
not
hearing you all the time, but I realized I'm not connected.
Oh, no. And I sent you an invite twice, but I'm not
Right.
seeing you.
I just saw the invite come back up again.
Yes, because it asking me if I want to add on this and add on that, and then I keep adding on. Then I say, wait, it's not you I'm adding it. I'm also adding other people.
Right,
So, but
right.
I can. Are you seeing me?
Yes, seeing you and hearing
Oh,
you very well.
wow. I'm not seeing you, but I know what you look like. You are so
You're not
lovely. So,
seeing
everybody, let us welcome Aya Taliba, Iodk.
me. Yep.
Um, yes, she's the author. She's a new author of Tilt. Tilt is her novel. I don't know if she have any more stories or books out. So you can introduce yourself for the audience.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Taliba Ayodokie, more commonly known as Joy. And I started my writing life right after retirement. So I now have quite a large number of books in draft form, which I am attempting to publish one by one. Tilt is the very first of these books.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. Well, if you have it there and the audience could see you, can you show it to them so they could see what it is, what your book looks like?
Right. This is what it looks like.
Yeah. Or if you could get to put a picture in the I mean that we're not good at technology.
I
So
don't
I don't know.
try anything fancy like that. Not now. Not that we get through. So this is what the book looks like. It's
Yes.
a globe with a guy balancing precariously on a tightrope. He is the protagonist, so that is what the book is about. Till
So, somebody say bring them on camera, but I did.
what's
I
that?
did. No, somebody said they um somebody said they're not seeing you, and somebody told me to bring you on camera, but I added camera. Looking forward to
I'm
seeing this.
seeing you and
Anyway,
I'm seeing myself.
well, I guess they're seeing you as well. Curtin, are you here? Are you seeing her now or hearing her? Mr. Monroe, are you seeing Miss Aya? Anyway,
There's
let
a
us get into it.
there's a little camera icon at the top right hand side of my screen. Shall I press it and see if that makes a
Well,
difference?
well, President Sheena,
Yeah.
hey,
Okay.
we are both
Hello.
learning.
Uh-uh.
We're learning.
It's switching to my laptop instead of
Oh, right. It's just the maybe it's just the not the camera, just the rotate button then.
yes.
Maybe.
That is
Oh,
the rotate
okay.
button. Hmm.
Well, let us just get into it. Aya, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Um, does your name have any special meaning?
Yes, I was born Joy because my mother said I came out of the womb smiling, and so Joy
Oh,
has been my motto, my joie de vivre. So when I decided I wanted to get an African name, I looked for meanings of joy. So Aya means joy, Ayodike, the Ayo in Ayodike also means joy. And the rest of the name, DK means strength, and Taliba, which
mm-hmm.
is my first name, both parts is my first name. Taliba means seeker after knowledge.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's very interesting. And for everyone out there,
Mm-hmm.
IODK does not spell like the letter IOD. It does not spell like that. It's AYODIKE, if anybody wanted to know, of course. I find that is very interesting, names and meaning and where it comes from and all these sorts of things. And you came out of the womb smiling, look, here you go. I think I could have been named Joy too, you know. I think I bring joy to the world.
The world is a wonderful place.
Okay. What was your what was your inspiration between
Right.
what was your
Until,
yeah, right, and tilt.
okay. Tilt started off, actually, it was called Rewind, and it eventually ended up as Tilt. The original story was sparked by a newspaper article. There was a report of a teenage suicide. A boy of 17 or 18, I think, had just committed suicide. And I started asking myself, what would cause somebody that age, you know? What are the reasons behind that? And then it was just at the point when that movie came out talking about suicide as well. 13 Reasons was the name of the movie. So between the two things, I started writing and trying to get into the mind of this teenager. And that's how it started. It didn't end there though, because eventually I ended up focusing not on the boy, but on the father and the relationship between the father and son, and then on the marriage and the relationship between the three of them. Your voice is gone. Your microphone is on off.
I know last week we were getting static, so I decided to turn it off when you're speaking.
Right.
Always forget to put it back on. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why fathers, mothers, and everybody else is so important in a child's life, because sometimes, well, we have a lot of single parents. I am one myself. But when you have two parents in a household, it's so important that they play an active role in a child's life.
Yeah.
Because it have so many people committing suicide, yes, and you really wonder what could
Yeah.
force somebody to
Mm-hmm.
commit suicide. And sometimes I think, like, when you have a lot of pressure from a parent or anybody, sometimes, mental
Yeah.
is a lot, Sometimes it's a lot to deal with. Sometimes hearing negative things every day, somebody complaining, quarreling with you,
Mm-hmm.
doing all kind of things. Sometimes it starts to make you think, well, what am I here for? If I don't know, it's so many things, but this mental health thing is real, you
It's
know?
very, very real.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And
But that, mhm,
not being able to communicate,
yes.
I think one of the major reasons why people eventually end up choosing that, because they feel isolated, they feel like they don't have anybody they can talk to. So in the case of the novel, it is the
Mhm.
son trying to reach his father, trying to get a proper relationship with his father, but his father is too busy working. He's too busy
Hmm.
to study his wife, he's too busy to study his child. And so
Wow.
the child ends up with, emotional problems.
Yeah. Because in that situation, you feel like you're alone. You don't have anyone to turn to. You have
That,
parents there, but they're so busy with their lives, the
yeah,
household chores and whatever else, that they don't even have time for their child. So the child feels alone and isolated, I believe. I will feel like that if.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I think in this situation, we all need somebody to talk to. That's why I say sometimes, how can somebody be grown up and it don't matter. Everybody needs at least
every,
one friend,
I'm
one
not,
person you could tell
yeah,
your utmost secrets or whatever. If you have, you must have somebody.
right,
But some people cannot keep things inside like me, really. I like
mm-hmm.
to talk it out,
Right,
and sometimes when you're so alone and stuff, what could you do? But
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's very interesting. And that is to tell you could write a book from any you just saw this article which was so
yeah,
heart rendering, and
mm-hmm.
a whole book, not a half a book, a whole book
Mm-hmm.
came out from it.
Yes,
um
yes.
let me see, what should I ask you?
Ask you,
Public, feel free to ask any question you want. You could throw some questions to Taliba or myself. um
okay.
Is there a particular genre you would love to write, but under a pen name?
Um, Well, the truth is, I have already experimented with writing in different genres. So I wrote a detective, one of my drafts is a detective novel, or another one is a romance, another one
Ooh,
is a adventure exploring up the Caribbean islands. So, um, at first, I said, well, okay, I will get a pen name for each of these so that, it would be a different person almost. But Now that I've started actually publishing and Taliba Ayodokie is getting known, I am telling myself I don't need to have a pen name. I can just publish all my books, under my name and let people enjoy them.
That's right, because our names are important. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess sometimes it depends. Like if you go to, I guess, in a Christian household and you want to write erotica or some kind of something, and sometimes you're working in a certain like field, maybe for the minister or something, a president or whatever, and you're author of erotic, like I don't know, you're writing real things out there. You don't. I guess some people would not want to know. Hey,
You need,
let your work
you need a
office
pen.
workers and stuff know you write this kind of thing. Then people might watch you like with one eye open and one eye closed. Wait,
Yes.
that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think because I was thinking about it, but then I said I love my name. And then I couldn't think of a name to make up to write. I should have just said Senior Floppy, but then still everybody would know it's me because that will work well.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Um, Somebody, Lee Joseph said, congratulations, Mrs. Ayodokie. You have always been that listening ear and teaching others to listen as well. Maybe he's a past student, or he, Lee. That could be either girl name or guy name.
I think I mean I don't remember the name. It's so
I
many
know.
students have passed through my hand.
So many.
So many
But I saw you,
years
you
of
touched
teaching.
so many lives.
So,
Um, would
but
anyone in your
hmm?
hmm?
uh, uh, I was just reading one of the comments that popped up.
Yes.
So you go ahead.
Oh no, you could go ahead as well.
Okay. The thing about it is that I am quite willing to reconnect with all of the students that I have had passed through my hands
Yes.
because well, I try to get to have a good relationship with students.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to thank Ms. Joseph for the
Yes.
comment. Mm.
And then Ryan. Ryan said
Right.
something also. Yeah, I think teachers are so important because I remember when I was going primary school, you used to look at, to me, they are your other parents away from home
Mm-hmm.
because you look up to them. They are you place them on such a high pedestal because they teach you so many things, and for some children, it's getting away from home as well because their homes are so far tall. And, so
Right.
many things go on in some children's household today that
Right.
going to school is a form of being out, getting away from those horrible situations.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, do you have any other writers in your family?
Yes and no. I know when I was growing up, I had a songwriter for an uncle. He would compose songs for calypsonians, etc. And then very recently, a cousin of mine published a nonfiction book on tourism in Trinidad. So kind of a the family is now developing, I think, in terms of writers. There
Yeah,
are a lot of us who are interested and working at it.
that's fantastic. I think we all, no matter, some dreams seem so impossible, but I think sometimes what keeps us back a lot from trying things is fear. Because I
Yeah.
wanted to do this little podcast for so long, and I was like, girl, you're getting younger. Well, I don't say older. I'm still
Yeah.
25. And what is there to fear than fear itself? At least if you do it, you know how it will be. Even if one person look at it, at least
Yeah.
you know how it will be, and that is to say, hey, I went out there and I do that, and and see how it will go. But I think it's a really beautiful thing to try to do what the blessings God give you. Try to do
Mm-hmm.
something about it. At least if you try, you know how it will be. If you never try, and like one day, if you live until 90, you might say, boy, I always wanted, but you're never too old or too young to try something. I see.
So
Yeah.
don't live to regret anything. Put
Yeah.
your hand
Yeah.
at something new all the time
Mm-hmm.
because you never know. And the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that people get butterflies and they are a little worried, they're a little nervous, but in the end,
Mm-hmm.
they try and succeed. You
Yes,
cannot
yes,
succeed if you don't try.
yes,
So
yes.
that's the
It's
idea.
yeah, it's all part of life, you know.
Yeah,
Why don't you
yeah.
try? People, you know, any if we all have any dreams, any hopes, anything you want to accomplish, it could be building sandcastle on the beach, drawing nice designs on the pavement. Don't matter what it is, you should just go for it. Take it from me. You have nothing to lose. Just go
Mm-hmm.
for it, you know, and then you could come on the show and tell me all about it.
Yes. Perfect. Come on the show.
um, yes, come on this show. Let us make it. I don't know. I don't know really about. I'm not a big, you know. It's just something I'm trying, you know, and giving people a platform to say, you know, because I think we all need that platform to get out there as a creative person.
Right, right, right. And in Trinidad, there are lots of creative people. So
Yes. Oh my God. So much. So
this
much.
that
Trinidadians are so
platform.
talented.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Do you
Yes.
see, do you see writing as a kind of spiritual or therapeutic practice?
Um, I would say that for some people it can be. It can be
Mhm.
therapeutic. I know that because you get a chance to get all of the thoughts out of your head and onto people.
Yeah.
And for me, I have always, I mean, whenever there was any chaos in my life, because in addition to this novel writing that I'm now doing, I have written a diary since I was 16.
Wow.
So um, anytime there was any kind of trauma, any kind of problems, anything, I
Hmm.
would go to my diary and really
Yes.
expose it because I was free to say anything I wanted since nobody but me read the diary.
Yes.
So it was very therapeutic for me in that sense.
Hmm.
So and as far as spiritual is concerned, I think all of life has a spiritual element in
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
you know, you just have to tap into the spiritual and you go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is so good too because a lot of people get out there, whatever they're going through on paper as well, you know. So
Yes.
that's a great thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
let's see if
Hmm.
anybody asks anything. Ryan Quilden, I don't know. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
I remember him.
Oh, okay. He said, "Congratulations, Miss Aya Taliba, Ayodokie.
Right.
Such a
Thank
beautiful
you.
person. Best principal ever. Ooh, keep going." It's so nice
Yeah.
when you hear things like that.
All right.
Yeah. So, let me see. Well, so when did your love for writing like really start?
Well, I would say, has to have been around age 7, 8, or 9, around there, because I was a great reader from Booth. My mother always encouraged us
Yeah.
to go pick up a book, and so
Yes.
I would pick up the book and I would read and read and read. And so coming out of that, I started liking to write. And
Yeah.
so I used to write little synopses of the books I'd read. And then I started writing in my diary. And then I collected 31 pen pals and started writing to them. And so I was writing a lot of, as a child growing up. I was doing different kinds of writing. So it's
Wow.
been a long journey.
Wow. That's amazing. Do you know I still have pen pal up to today? I never knew that about you.
Yeah,
I love it. I think with writing and reading, it's such a beautiful,
yeah,
yes, two
yeah.
beautiful hobbies, you know. And
It,
even with the pen pal, and you get to know people from
all,
different
all over
cultures,
the world,
all over
yeah.
the world, different languages, food, and
But
everything else.
when I got married and I had my son, I was just too busy between that and working to
Mm-hmm.
keep up with the pen pals. So gradually, one by one, I drifted out of it. So now I don't have a
Yes.
single pen pal, but
Wow.
uh,
I'm a, I, I have a lot. I swear it's about 50 or more. I don't know.
yeah, all right, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
really love people. I really
Mm,
love people, and just writing and getting to know people in different countries, learning about their lives and
yeah.
stuff like that. I remember Big Blue Marble. I don't know if you remember that.
No,
That used to be on TV years ago. Big Blue Marble.
I don't remember
Anyway,
that at all.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but I do know that I even in those days Trinidad and
mhm.
all was to me, and so I had a pen pal from San Fernando. Would you believe?
Yeah. I have pen pals from Trinidad as well.
Uh,
But sometimes they don't write as fast. And then the post office, do you know a mail sometime from Bataria or say like San Fernando will take months to reach it? Isn't that
yeah,
terrible? And you live in the country, the said country, and the mail takes so ever long.
yeah, yes.
Anyway, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any particular thing or things you do before you write? You know, like a ritual, or like do you have to listen to music before you write, a cup of coffee, tea, or you just write whenever? Or do you have something special
When,
that you do?
when I retired, I said to myself, finally, I have the time and I have no excuses. So therefore, I am going to write. I started off with that mindset. And then but at the time I was taking care of my mother because she's passed away now, but she is elderly then and not too sick, but a little bit. And
Yeah.
so during the day, I was her caregiver. So that if I wanted to write, I knew I had to choose very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
So every morning I would get up, two,
Yeah,
three,
that.
I get up early to go to work. So I was still in the habit of getting up early. And between, let us say, 5 and 9, which is when she woke up,
Mm-hmm.
I had myself. So most days between 5 and 9, I would get up and I say, sit down at that table and write. I used to order myself. And so that's what I did for those few years. Why I ended up with 10 drafts, because I used to get up every morning, sit down at the table, and now I had all the things in my head, you know. So I didn't need to think about what to write. I just had to try and get them down on paper. So that's what I did. So
Oh,
um, I will say that's the only routine I have, that I have a specific time and
yeah,
I have a certain length of time that I would spend at it. But
yes,
apart from that, I don't need music, I don't need coffee, I don't need anything else. Because it's all there waiting to burst out.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I as well feel that way, but
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
sometimes they say the best time to write is when you now get up in the morning time. They say
Yeah,
your head is clear, and
yeah,
no matter you write, even if it didn't make sense to you, just get it down on paper.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
And but now as my mother has passed, I have the whole day to myself. So anytime an
yeah,
idea pops into my head, I go scribble. So the
yeah, yeah,
computer is
yeah.
always on. So I'm writing a lot more now.
Yeah, and you must get it down on paper. Sometimes, even though you might be sleeping and you turn and you just think about something, but you must always get up and write it, because 9 times out of 10, when you get up later in the day,
You forget. Yeah.
sorry, yeah, and it ain't coming back to you. 10 years
Right.
will pass and you will never remember that one thing. And
That is
sometimes it's such a great. I remember that happened to me once. Like I was hearing a voice saying, "Get up, get up." I was having this amazing dream. It was like somebody was telling me this story, but I remember I was sleeping.
right.
And like God was calling and saying, "Hey, so get up, get up." But I was so exhausted and I was like, I was so sleepy. So I sleep with
Mm,
a diary on my bed and
right.
different pens. So let me tell you, I swear, I sat up on the bed, or maybe I was still lying down.
Uh-huh.
I remember taking out a pen and writing.
Okay.
Let me tell you,
Okay. Well,
and I was seeing the most. I was like, this book could be will be a bestseller. When I
yeah.
got up the next morning and I opened the book, it was just scribbles, lines up and down the book. It didn't even have one word that nothing that made sense to me. And
Because
I
you must
decided anytime,
listen.
I swear, maybe I should have given somebody to translate that gibberish. I don't. It wasn't even one word, just scratches up and down the
Right,
whole book.
right, right,
And I
right, right.
swear I was writing a
You were
bestseller. Oh my God. So I say every time now I have a little incline of something, I will just get up and do it, no matter how tired I am, because that taught me to don't chance it.
yeah. One of the
Yeah. What do you,
things about the technology now is that you don't even need that because I sleep with my phone close enough that when I have an
yes,
idea, press microphone and talk quickly into
right.
it. And this morning when I wake up, I will listen and hear what I teach. So
And
it's
that
easier.
yes. And
It's
that is something I never remember to do. I don't know
mm,
why. I
mm,
never remember to do that. Well, I don't know if you would like to
mm.
okay, let me ask you. Have you faced any challenges trying to get published or noticed? What do you?
Um. Well, before I decided what I was going to do with all this writing that I had, I started investigating, the whole publishing world because I really knew nothing about it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I also attended some workshops by some Trinidadian coaches. So I kind of got slowly into the whole publishing area and then realized there was traditional publishing versus self-publishing.
Mm-hmm.
So I opted for self-publishing. And that's why I just uploaded it to Amazon when I was ready with Tilt and ran with it from there.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I know too much about the traditional publishing world,
Mm-hmm.
but I know, for instance, that you have to get an agent, and I know it's difficult to get your book noticed.
Yes.
So, well, I am right now. I am just willing to try everything and to
Yes.
see what, and there are a lot of hopeful people in Trinidad and Tobago who are trying as well to be, published
Mm-hmm.
authors. So I join the
Yes.
community and I am willing to help and I am willing to work. So that's my take on the whole thing.
And I think that's the main thing,
Mm.
trying to just see what you can do, any means necessary to get it out there. I
Right.
think I always say writing a book is easy, not that easy, people, but easy. I think the hard part of having a book is for it to get noticed because it has so many authors in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Plus advertising and
Right.
marketing it,
Mm-hmm.
and getting it on the right platform.
Right.
Um, I think a lot of us don't really know to do that, but I
Mm.
try my best. Whatever comes up into my mind, I just try it. And I find I love a lot of merchandising also. I love things that goes along with my book or you anything I could think about and I can financially afford it,
Right.
I will do it.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes, like if you're at a pop-up shop and you have a book, coloring book, pencils, that sometimes somebody might come at your table and buy one thing, and then it will have a next person come and take one and everything or two, and that will be like, yeah, man, that kind of way. So you never know,
Mm.
But I think we really had to work at like advertising more,
Yeah.
getting our work out there, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but in all the islands
Right.
and in all over, wherever, Europe, America, Central, wherever, just take a chance and try to get it out there because the sky is not the limit. At least that is
But
what I see.
the truth
Because,
is that
mm-hmm,
writing itself
mm,
is a particular skill, which is very
yes,
different. The skills you need for advertising and promotion and publishing and for selling. And
Yes.
so it's a good idea also to get people who are adept at those skills to help in,
Mm-hmm.
rather than the writer trying to do everything themselves.
Yes.
Because um, I think things will work a lot faster and a lot better if you have a publishing team or
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
promotional team,
Of course.
who will
Yeah. Yeah.
on those areas that you may not be good at, or because
Yes.
you want to spend the time writing, so
Mm-hmm.
you may not have the time to do both.
Yes.
So it's good to have other people, other professionals,
Yes.
in a whole enterprise. Have it as a big.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not a tech person, and I will wish someone could, because it has so many different
Yes, it
things we could do. Being
a
an
lot of
author, it has so
tech
many
stuff
things.
that
So
well, I
it.
don't know about you, but I know a lot of tech stuff that I don't know about, and so
Mm-hmm.
I need to learn some of it, but also I need to ask other people to help. In
So,
areas that I
yes.
know that I need help. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I stick first of all to my writing because that is my strong point. That is what I
Yes.
want to do, and then I will ask other people to help in the other areas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have anything you want to say to the people listening online? Any writing advice you can give since you started to write, and then after you could maybe read a chapter. You could choose something to read or two, depending on how long it is. I don't want to make it too boring. Not your book, I mean, in the whole
Yes,
thing.
yes, I know, I know. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, in terms of advice, I would
Mm-hmm.
say follow your dreams because I have had this dream since I was 12 years old and I'm now 71.
Mm.
Right? And I didn't think I was too old to start a brand new career when I retired from my teaching job. So I would say follow your dreams. Don't
Yes.
ever give up on them, and they will really be worthwhile. You'll see the worth of it as you go along. So that's my bit of advice. Follow your
Yes.
dreams and enjoy what you do.
Yes.
And
That is some advice I will give anybody as well. Just follow your dreams and do whatever you want to try it at least once to
yeah,
see how
have
far you could go.
to if
And
it's ready,
sometimes it might
but
just seem impossible, but
right.
if you don't try, you never will know, and you will always regret it. Believe you me, you will. One day
Right.
you will get up and say, "Oh my God, I wish I had tried that. Now I'm
Exactly.
99. Could I even do that?" Even if you want to go bungee jumping.
Anything
Yeah,
that
but
I
yes,
should try everything once.
yes, man. If you like it, well, you don't have to
Yeah,
do it again.
yeah.
So, yeah, so um, you could read if you want
Let
to
me
read
see
a
if I
chapter
can find.
or
No,
two.
I'm in a whole chapter, just a little short,
Okay,
little.
to give people a little because we want them to buy the book, right? And then if
Right.
you can, seeing that you're not so tech like me,
Uh-huh.
maybe you could or tell them like where the books are being sold,
Okay.
if it have an ebook and where they could get it so they will know, and they
Right.
could
So I pick
follow
it
you
up
as well.
before I read while I'm
Yeah.
finding a place. It's up on Amazon and it's available as an ebook as well as a softcover paperback. And it's available in Trinidad from Cruise Ship Complex. The booth is called Webcraft Concepts in the Cruise Ship Complex. So that's
Yeah.
where I'm selling it from, as well as um, on my website. I have
Mm-hmm.
I have a bank transfer organized from the website,
Yeah.
so people can. This is a technological age, so they have to have
Yes.
technological means too. So people can access it from that as well.
Yeah. Well, good to know. So people go out there and support Miss Aya, by getting her wonderful book Tilt.
Mm,
And books could all teach us something.
yep.
Books, words teach us so much. Because we indie authors need a lot of support. So you all go there and support us as well. And it's not
Okay.
about just buying the book, which we love, sharing our books on your page, telling a friend about it, or a million people, just whatever. But support is everything.
Okay.
Yes, so go ahead.
Right,
Take
this
it
is
away.
chapter 3, a very brief but significant event in the novel. The telephone's harsh jangle broke the silence. Peter glared at it, his upraised hand warding off the intrusion. Let me just finish sketching out this bit now. He hissed at the instrument, half entreaty, half defiance. A gentle knock on the door provoked a fierce, "Do not disturb." Melanie's head poked round the door. "So sorry, sir. Pick up the phone. It's your wife. She says it's urgent." Peter placed the receiver to his ear, but could not quite banish the unwelcome from his voice. "Ruma? What's so urgent?" "Stanley." Peter's eyes widened. "Stanley? What's happened to him?" "You need to come home now. He has a problem. A big problem." The phone snapped into place. Had Roma really hung up without giving him an explanation? He stared at the dead phone in his hand, one finger stretched out to punch the redial. According to Roma, his son Stanley had a problem. What kind of big problem could a 3-year-old have that a good spanking would not solve? He turned the phone receiver over and stared at it. How could she expect him to drop everything and run home? She had never done this before. Surely she was capable of handling whatever it was until he could make it home. That's it.
That's
That's
it? Oh, the
it.
story now getting good.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's just a teaser.
Yes, it's a teaser.
Oh Lord. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that is words are the best. You don't need a visa to travel. Well, I will really want a visa to travel. But words, books, you travel through books and you could reach anywhere. You could ride a dragon, you could do anything and be anyone with books. You could stay on your couch and reach Timbuktu.
Right.
You
I
know,
traveled
it's
all over the world with
yeah,
books.
me
Not only
myself,
that, I have learned all about animals. I have learned all about people. I have learned so many things just
yes.
from being told about them in books.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. You
Yep.
have anything else you want to say? I don't want to go too long. I don't want to bore anyone, but I don't think we are boring at all.
Well,
I
I
may
just
be
want
wrong.
to say I also, in addition to the novel that I have published, I have been trying my hand at short stories as well. And I got one of them. I entered the Brooklyn Caribbean Literary Festival, and
Ooh,
my story was longlisted. So it
wow.
really gave me hope. It really gave me hope to see I could continue with this thing. So I have put that story up on the website. So anybody who wants to can check it out and read it and tell me what they think.
I mean, to be long listed, short listed, or even that is a
Yeah,
great thing for any author.
yeah,
Yeah, I would be like,
I was
yes.
very. Mm-hmm.
And I hope anytime you're writing or doing anything,
Mm-hmm.
you always put a piece in that, hey, I was longlisted for this. That is like a badge of honor. It is
Right,
to me.
right,
So everything you're doing, just make sure and put it in. That's
right.
wonderful though. Well, I'll be looking to get longlisted and shortlisted sometime soon then.
Of course, we all have to
You
try.
know? And yeah, and then we'll be winning some competition and stuff. Or
Yeah,
maybe we have to make up our own competitions and let people enter
we
as
have a
well.
lot of them out there already. We don't need to break up anymore. We just need to enter some of them.
Yes, yes, yes.
But
Anybody would like to chime in anything? Anybody would like to say anything? can hear people. Maybe I should invite some people on. Anybody would like to say anything? Let me see if I could. I don't want to make it too long. Um,
I think they're hearing you because I keep seeing little signs coming up
oh yes, I think
that they
that's something to
are
do with
hearing.
on and off, on and off.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say anybody is welcome. Live at 5 on a Sunday. If I cannot go on a Sunday, I will choose the next day. Um, it's just something to do. Somebody, up next platform to be on to say like,
Right.
who are you, what you're doing, until I'm new at this, so
Mm.
you know, so I'm just trying something.
Well,
And
thank you, Hazel, for inviting me to be.
yes, you're most welcome.
I love
And
the idea of Live at 5, and so I am looking forward to listening to all the other people you are going to be inviting every week to
yes,
us.
yes. Yeah, and not just authors. Anybody out there who wants, we can come on a day and somebody could cook dumplings. If it's different from just regular flour dumplings, whatever you want to do. If you build sandcastles, if you paint, if you whatever you want to do, if you have something you always wanted to do and haven't started, feel free to come and talk about it.
Right.
I bet when the show finishes, you'll be so inspired to do it. So anybody and everybody is welcome. Let me see, like somebody. Who is this?
Okay.
Just 1 second. Let me see if this young lady would like to say something. I'm adding her. So let me see if she would like to see something. I don't know if it will go through. Her name is Marvel Riley. She's Jamaican American. She's a nurse. I think she's a nurse still. I know a lot of people from just saying hi to them online.
Okay.
Just saying, talking to people. But I don't know if she will. My phone is very slow, so maybe that's why it's taking so long.
Oh.
You know,
Oh.
before Senior Fluffy, I got a piece published in a this book. It's a book by done by the Voices of Lefers in Brooklyn, New York. And
Right.
this was actually my first Senior Fluffy piece, Pause for Knowledge.
Okay.
PAWS, because I mean he's a cat and he have paws. I don't know.
You got caught up in a tree?
Huh?
You got caught up in a tree?
No, no, no. No, that is the Flatbush Library in Brooklyn. When
Oh.
this
Okay.
story, you had was to do a lot of research. Pick a place
Mm.
in Brooklyn, like somewhere
Right.
that have a lot of historic
Right.
history, and write a story. And I was like, I'm not into that kind of writing. I have to go and you have to go all over and get all kind of files and thing about this place. My story was so long it could have been 10 books. But it was pretty awesome to see some. And I chose the library,
Mm.
Flatbush Library, which was
Okay.
one of the first library I visited in New York. And
Interesting.
I just wrote about the library, and then I put a story with, of course, Senior Fluffy and his owner, Madame Dubois, and some other characters that have not been mentioned in this story. You
Okay.
know, there's yeah. So it's a work in progress. So
Right.
yeah, writing is fun. Yeah. So I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you, Aya, Taliba, Ayodokie,
It
for coming on
was
and
a pleasure.
talking about it. Hmm?
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and feel free to come back anytime when maybe Tilted come out or Tilt Over. I don't know if you'll be named
That's part 2.
Tilt Part 2. Yes.
Right.
So, and thank you for coming on. Thank you everybody for joining. I so appreciate it because it's nice when you own and somebody join you. And I invited you, but I guess she didn't want to be live. I don't know if it went through anyway.
Okay.
It would have been nice, I guess. Let me see if I could add somebody else, or maybe not. Or maybe just invite them another time. Oh, I see.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah.
thank all the listeners.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
somebody just now. I see somebody is joining. Just 1 second. Don't go eh? Don't go yet. You know at the bottom I'm seeing two X's. I wonder. Let me try to. I wonder if I should press it. As I just invited the other person, it just came on. I don't know.
You both gone.
I really have to. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
about
tried.
somebody
Ah.
else is
It,
coming up now.
yeah. It just cutting off. I added somebody, but it's only cutting off. Let me see if I X out this button out.
Can you
Okay.
hear us? Can you hear him?
Huh?
Can we
I'm
hear
not
him?
hearing anything. No.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Curtin?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how
All
are you?
right.
I'm not seeing your picture, but I mean, um, just, sometimes, could you tell us a little about yourself? Well, I'm not seeing you.
We're
Well,
If you want to.
yeah, I was a medical student at a Chipotle school because of some mysterious illness, and I published a book based on my sickness and my strength and resilience that kept me alive all these years. And that book is helping and inspiring others.
okay. That's
And
great.
you were studying in Jamaica, right? When that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
How, how old were you then?
21.
Wow. And how old are you now?
I'm 36.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
And did you ever find out what caused it?
no. And they did about 3 of this. Up to this day, they can't put the diagnosis.
Okay.
That is really something.
That's a
So
serious one
because
to go
the
through.
yeah, mysterious illness caused you to write this book. And
Yeah,
how has the response been?
well, the response is great. A lot of people are telling me that it's inspiring to them and helping them in their own
Right,
struggles.
right,
Be-
right.
because, as I said, you see, it's a long time I've been like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the book, I also wrote about my resilience and what I leaned on
Mm-hmm.
to get me through,
Yeah,
mostly my relationship with Christ.
Okay.
because it's been more than 10, way more than 10 years. So what happened to you like physically now?
Yeah.
Like because of the illness, how are you now? Like, can you do
Well,
Mhm.
because of the illness, unbelievably, I can't speak properly, I
Mhm.
can't see properly, I
Wow.
can't walk. Yeah,
Bro.
and I have a little resting trauma.
Mm,
It's weird. It's weird.
wow.
I seriously thought that I wouldn't last a year being like this, but it's been 14 years,
Mm.
and
Wow.
I'm getting better. Yeah. At one point, I couldn't even do a simple thing like turn to the side from lying on your back,
Yeah.
like turning to the side. I can do that. Yeah.
Mm.
Not even talk or make a song like this.
Sometimes we take these things for granted, eh?
Yeah.
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 Like, until something happened, and sometimes it didn't have to be something so like what Curtin went through, because I'm sure none of us will know what it is you really went through to be a medical student in
Yeah.
Jamaica. You're just 21 studying, and I think one day you got up and you had a horrible headache, if I remember
Yeah.
right. A
Yeah.
terrible headache. Wow. That is something. How are your parents? Are your parents, how are they? Your family? Like,
But thank God for my parents and my family because all of them they are good. But during my the tough time, they all came across to Jamaica and helped me through. Even when I came back, they all supported me. Yeah,
Thank God for family.
yes,
yeah,
support
thank God
is
parents.
everything. And to be only 21 and go through something like that, I didn't
Yeah,
know that your eyes were, you could hardly see. Wow, and you wrote a whole book. When you were writing, were your eyes already being affected?
yeah. The eyes was actually the first thing that was affected when I was studying for my final exam. I
Wow.
was seeing double and blurry, and I thought I needed glasses.
Right.
Went to the optometrist, and the optometrist fell back and watched me in this weird way, like, she knew what was happening,
Wow.
but didn't want to tell me. Apparently, I found out now that Jamaica is the well big in the spiritual aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is really you see everybody have such a inspiring story, no matter what it
Yeah,
is. It always inspire you to like be better, do better, and then you could help so many people who going through
yeah.
some kind of
What,
something.
what's the name of the book?
The name of the book is A 12-Year Journey, The Contrary Wind That Blew Me Here.
Okay.
Actually, it's the contrary wind that started all this because when the vision problem started and I got a headache, I decided to take a nap
Right.
in my dorm only to wake up to something holding me down and
Mm,
blood all over my face. That is where the contrary wind came in.
Okay.
Yeah, and from that day, like it seemed like every one of my faculties went. One day I couldn't walk properly. Some days my voice was getting worse until it eventually sounded like this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Godfather.
It was a very long story, but in the book you will understand everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the song too superstitious, but even as a medical student, at
Mm-hmm.
the time I was trying to diagnose myself and
Okay.
I couldn't like come up with anything that could affect someone like so many
Mm-hmm.
parts of them. It was weird, very weird. As I said, initially I thought I needed glasses, but
Mm-hmm.
But when something like this happens and it cannot be said medically, what is wrong with you? After you start to study, well, different things because I mean, I don't believe in a lot of things, some things, but then your mind
yeah,
go to that other side, like, you know, like if somebody do you something or, because I mean, it's out there, you know. So a lot of people, but when you cannot explain like how you just get sick, so you're in perfect health and just so you get
yeah,
a horrible headache. 10 years after 14 years, you still cannot walk, your eyesight and so many things. You talk, you walk with, how do you walk? Like you have to get assistance or you walk like with a cane or you in a wheelchair? What?
yeah. I'm in a wheelchair now.
Wow.
Like now, it's unbelievable because I'm getting back some of my independence. I can do everything for myself now except walk. So yeah, I'm in a wheelchair now. That's how I get about.
Yeah, so you came a long way.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
very.
God, we sometimes we cannot explain things, and maybe God have a major plan for you. You know, I think for all of us.
As
I don't
as
know why.
as I said, like I thought at one point when I was in the medical ward in Jamaica, I thought I would never sleep outside of those hospital wards.
Right.
But here I'm 14 years after.
Wow, I didn't even know it was so long. Wow, 14. Wow,
You have to.
that is a
And actually, on May the 19th, it will make it 15 years I've been like this.
wow.
Okay.
Well, you're so
But
strong. Kudos
you
to you.
trusting in
I
God
hope.
through it all.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that is getting me through, like my faith
Yeah.
yeah.
in Christ.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is getting me through
Yeah.
and really working for me. I can't say like I don't want to be like imposing my faith on anyone else, but
Yes.
I'm just saying what has been working for me.
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
That's good.
must
That's
be,
good.
believe in something, you know. I don't know, it have a God out there, and I don't know how some people don't believe. But to each their own, you know, you can't force,
Yeah.
as you say, faith on everybody, because some people grow up different. Everybody didn't grow up the same. It has some
Right.
people don't believe in religion, and some people, but you
Mm-hmm.
cannot get vexed with people, you know, because that is how they were grown up, you know. So I don't get vexed. You
But,
just have to
but
take
but
people.
as he said, it is what works for him, and therefore
Yes,
he has to hold on to his faith and trust in
of
God.
course, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because when this all started like a year end,
Mm-hmm.
I was prepared to go down with the ship because I told myself like I was like going head first and fully into this Christian thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was prepared to go down with the ship if it didn't work, and it's worked for me. No, look, I'm a published
Right.
author and people know about me. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Look at
So
that.
when I thought this was the end, this thing happening to me
Mm-hmm.
actually is turning out to be like forming a future for me.
Right.
And that's all Christ because all that is what I paid for.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes.
Was just the beginning of something else, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes God open up different, I
Yeah.
don't know, we go through things and then different doors open for us in
Mm-hmm.
different ways we never saw before. And different things, we experience so much things in our lifetime and then different doors open. Sometimes we get hurt, but maybe you never thought to be an author before and write about your experiences now. You got hurt
Mm-hmm.
horribly, and then a book came from that. And these things are so inspiring because with your book as well as Taliba, you inspire so many people. Because just by reading books, whether it's true fictional or not, you know, words do inspire people. And
Right.
just, you know, don't matter what kind of story it is, I always say words mean a lot. And your book will have such a huge impact on people. I mean, people that Senior Fluffy have a following like really a cat. You know, French pussycat is fictional. But people love the Senior Fluffy character, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every story have its readers.
Mm,
And every story could teach you something.
that is so true.
And
Mm,
yeah, and be inspired. And I'm so inspired, you know? And so we will have you, I will have you on the show sometime soon,
Yeah, whenever.
and you could tell
Yeah.
your story again, you know,
right.
and
Yeah.
I'd be interested in hearing.
yeah, and when I get to fix so the I can see you as well, although I know what you look like, but you know, I like to see people when I doing podcasts. I like to see somebody else beside myself.
Okay.
Right now, I'm scaring myself, but don't mind. I'm silly. I study
You all are seeing me
I,
now?
I
I'm
am
not seeing you
seeing.
moving.
I am
She's seeing
seeing
you.
you.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
seeing
know
all
what
three of
happened.
us. very
Okay.
healthy and well.
I
But
hope, I hope
he's
you're
always
nice inside. Well, so John, thank you for coming on and telling us
Hi.
your story. I will have you on
No
the show
problem.
sometime soon.
kind
I
of
guess when you're
Yeah.
inspiration.
and to tell your story and stuff, and how you started and where you are now and whatever you want to
Yeah.
share. You're always welcome.
Right.
And I just want to thank Taliba again for coming on and talking about Tilt and telling us some things about herself and her work in progress, her other works in progress and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I hope you were inspired today with Curthon Monroe story and also
Mm-hmm.
Taliba's stories. And we hope you join us next week at Live at 5
Right.
on Facebook
And
Live.
you forgot
Okay,
to
that's
tell
all
him
I
about
got.
Wednesday.
Hmm?
You forgot to tell him about Wednesday. The
And Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, hoping there's no rain, will be on in the promenade in Port of Spain, the Brian Lara Port of Spain, on the 23rd of April from 10 to
10 o'clock,
6, I
10
believe,
to
or
6.
10 to 5.
10 to 6.
Yes, 10 to 6. A couple of authors, a few authors will be selling our books, merchandise, and whatever. So you all should come on down and check us out and support us. Come and say hi. Maybe you all will meet Senior Fluffy in person, not me, and say hi and get to know us and stuff. And, maybe buy a book or two, a mug, a bookmark, or just come to meet us and say hi. Hey. So come and join us on the 23rd of April, Baranara Promenade, opposite First Citizens Bank.
Right.
Right. So thank you everybody for joining. I so appreciate the love.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see you next week live at 5. Let's have a nice drink.
Right,
Have to
too.
make a
Bye bye,
stop.
everyone.
Bye. Good night. Thanks again, Curtin.